What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Still Becoming podcast. I am your host, Chantel Scott, and this is our space for real, raw, and unfiltered talk. Hey, thank you. If this is your first time tuning in with me, welcome. Come on in, pull up a chair. Glad to have you guys here. If you're returning, welcome back. Glad everybody is back for more chit chats. Listen, if you haven't already, do me a solid. Go ahead, click subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much for your attention and opportunity to have these talks with you. So today, as you can see, we have a special guest. We have my mom here on this journey, this still healing, a bond between a mother and daughter. That's what this episode is, a bond between a mother and daughter. So we're going to be talking today about healing. So we're going to get right to it. If you haven't had an opportunity to review the last episode, I'm going to link it right here in the video so that you can have an opportunity to review that one as well. How you doing, Ma?
I'm good. How are you?
Listen, I'm good. Been a rough day today.
Yes, I can
Been a
imagine.
rough day, but glad we're here. So I'm so glad you were able to join us. She came to Texas, y'all, not for this, but she came to Texas for my birthday. So I'm glad she's here, and I just kind of wanted to get into just a couple questions, just to see how you and I can just let the people know how we're healing. We're gonna talk about my dad a little bit. Today is his 3rd death anniversary. And it's been a really emotional day for both of us, I would say. And we're still healing through that. We're still working through that. And just our bond as mom and daughter, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I want to get into some questions for Mama. And hopefully she can shed some light on some things. So, Mama, I have a couple questions for you. And we might go a different way. But I'm going to try to keep it as... I'm gonna keep it close to the script as possible. So, when you think about this season in your life and you think about healing, what does that word mean to you now compared to what it did when you were in your younger years?
Well, healing is a process in life that only time will heal all pains. Mm-hmm. And we just have to be patient and trust and believe that God will carry us through the storm.
Yeah. Has there been any particular person or any particular situation that you've had to heal from that has been difficult for you?
Yes. I think the most difficult one that I've had, maybe two, my mother and my brother. Experiencing the loss of them was being that they've been part of my life for mostly all my life. That was very difficult for me to deal with. But throughout, like I said, with time, healing. Time heals all wounds.
Yeah. I know when you lost grandma, particularly, you were 31 years old.
Yes.
31 years old, 9 months pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah. What did that grief teach you about yourself? What did you have to learn? Because you were young,
Yes.
You had me, and you were really just trying to figure things out for yourself when she passed away. So what did her loss teach you about grief and about healing?
Well, her loss had taught me that, life is, our future is unpredictable. We have to prepare our mind we have to prepare our mind and, look forward to whatever. And when things like that happens, we have to go off of what we know and what we were taught. And my mother was an evangelist who had been in church all her life. Mm-hmm. And she raised all of us in the church since we were little kids. And she taught us to trust and lean on God when we are feeling sad or when we are feeling down or when we even just need someone to listen to us.
Yeah.
And trust in him, that he will carry you through whatever you're going through in life. So that taught me as a young mother that, you know, I had to trust in God and lean on him, because he is our Father. And I know that he guides us and teaches what we need to know. He will never forsake us or leave us. So I trust that, and I believe that, and I thank my mom for teaching me that before she passed.
She was big on faith, and I think when we didn't have a lot growing up, seeing her struggle, seeing you struggle, I think that's all we really had a lot of was faith. And I think that's what really brought us through some really dark and difficult times. Especially when she left so unexpectedly. And, you know, we didn't know what we were going to do.
No.
That was tough, but I think
that was our test.
It was. And for me being so young, I think what it did for me was truly show me how people can bounce back from a loss. And it took some time, because you had two very devastating losses back to back. First grandma and then Uncle Bernard. But I think that gave me insight to what strength really looks like. Because I don't think you understood how strong you were to carry that out for yourself, to bury your mom and then your brother back to back like that with a newborn baby, you know, trying to make ends meet. That was tough. That
was very tough. And all happening during the time that I was very young and just trying to be a mother to two kids that very young kids at the time that I had to raise and bring up as a single mother. That was very devastating.
Were there moments in that where you felt like you had to be strong, but you really didn't know where you were going to get your strength from?
Yes, there were many, many times that I had felt like I had to be strong for my children, for my siblings, you know, for my family. You know, I had to be the strong one. When I see that they were weak and vulnerable and needed me, I had to be strong for them, even though I was hurting at the time too. I had to set that aside and put that aside and be strong for my loved ones.
You've exemplified your strength throughout my life. I think just seeing how you've bounced back from cancer. Seeing how you've bounced back from, you know, just your career transitions. Seeing you bounce back from losing love. But one of the biggest things that always I've seen you exemplify your strength is, one, telling me about my dad. But then being there when he passed away. Was there anything that surprised you when my dad passed about how you grieved?
Well, when he passed, I knew I had to be very strong for you, because I knew that, you know, the short time that y'all had together and getting to know him, and it was in the process, you know, was dealing with the process of knowing him, and then death came. I knew I had to be very strong for you, and I feel that you know, I was hurting too, because he was a good friend. We had a bond that no one never would know or never understood, and it really don't matter. Just long as I know and he know. We were good friends, and we were able to communicate and talk over the phone, and we had some good laughter. And, you know, that was the best part about knowing him. He was a good person.
He was. Is there anything that you really miss about my daddy?
I miss his sense of humor.
Me too. That's a big one. I miss how he was like, hush, hush.
Yeah, he had a great sense of humor. He could have been a comedian.
He could have been. Both of y'all. I had two. God bless me with two comedians for parents.
Yes, he was very fun.
So, do you feel like you fully grieved my daddy?
I feel I still have my moments. I have my moments at times when I think about him, like today. And then I can hear him in my head. And he'll say something funny to make me, snap out the sad part of it and smile and laugh. Yeah.
Is that a part of what you do to help you heal from a loss? Not just my daddy, but what do you do to help you move past that hurt into healing? How do you move past it?
Yes. Well, with all the loss that I've had in the past years, and I've lost a lot. I think about the good times, the good times that I've had with my loved ones, the good memories that we made together, and the bond that we had, and that keeps me going. That keeps me going because I know that they don't want us to continue to grieve them.
Yeah.
They want us to live and move on.
Yeah.
And that's a hard pill to swallow, to say that someone wants you to move on without them. But I always believe, because my mom always taught me, that just because a person is no longer present in your eyesight, their spirit, I do believe, is still present around you.
Yeah.
And I believe that strongly. And I believe that they know and understand what we are going through. And they're there for us, just like God is.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I really feel you on the they never leave us. Today, the ladybug, right, in church, just out of the blue. So today, we were sitting in church, and pastor was up talking, preaching, and someone that was sitting beside my mama tapped her and was like, she pointed at her, and there was a ladybug on her arm. And my mama, she took the ladybug in her hand, on her finger, and it flew on me. It flew on me. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional, but so yeah, I think that was an indication for my daddy that he knew what today was.
Oh yeah.
He knew how I felt today.
Yes.
And he just sent that really small reminder that I'm still right here. That I'm
just like I said,
I'm still right here.
Still
and I
right
think
there.
those are the moments that kind of help me move from the hurt. I'm not in like the devastation of the loss anymore. I know he's gone. Yeah. But I'm also not fully healed. I'm like in that middle space, and I talked about that in the last episode, where you're not fully devastated that the person or the thing has happened or that it's gone. You're in that middle space.
Yes.
And it's been 3 years.
Yes.
Which is crazy to even say. It's been 3 years since he passed away. But it still, sometimes it comes back and it stings, and it feels like it was yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Going off of that, do you think the grieving process of my father affected our relationship at all?
Yes, I feel that we have became closer, more passionate with each other, and we communicate better. Yeah. I think we speak to each other and talk about anything. We don't hold back on anything, and we discuss whether it's something that we disagree with or have a difference about. We still talk it out, and I think that's what helped a lot.
I agree with that. And I think grieving grandma was, when you were younger, for me, that was tough. I think that was your first big loss, and you really didn't have anywhere to go to kind of get the support you needed with the loss.
Yes, because I lost my father, which my mother was married to, years when I was very young, like 2 years old. And my brother was like 8 months or so old. And I didn't get to know my father other than through what my mother had told me about him. And I got to miss that father and daughter bond. So my mother raised me and my brother and my other siblings by herself. Just like I raised my 2 girls by myself. And my mom kept us in church and always taught us to trust in the Lord and give all our problems to Him, for He will resolve and solve them for us. You know, we take our little hand out of it and let God put His big hand in it and let God handle it. And I think that's a true statement with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you've healed from losing grandma 26 years ago? Almost 26 years ago. 25.
Yes, it's 25 years.
Yeah. Do you think you've healed from that?
I still grieve my mother, but I have gotten over the knowing that she is gone and that she is not coming back here, and that I accepted that. But missing her presence and her cooking.
Oh yeah, man, she could throw down.
It really has.
Throw down.
It still lingers in me.
Yeah.
I think about those things.
Yeah.
But you know,
I definitely think as a family, losing grandma was probably the most devastating thing, and no one really grieved it well. And I don't think that they allowed us, her children, her grandchildren, to grieve it well either. I remember being so sad, and that was where I think it started for me, not understanding what grief looks like or what to do with it. And you internalize it, and it just becomes a part of you. And it wasn't until 2017 when I started going to therapy. I don't know if you know this, but it wasn't until 2017, early 2018, when I started going to therapy, that I finally broke down. And I was like, I blamed her death on myself.
yes, I remember that.
I broke for 18 years. I blamed her death on myself because I felt like, even though I was 8 years old, almost 9 years old, I should have called the EMS, or I should have done this, or I should have done that. And that affected the way that I grieved for the rest of my life. From 8.
Yes.
And it was, I think you saw a little bit of how my grieving like takes a toll on me. So what did you learn about me through losing my dad? What did you learn? What is something you learned about me through me losing my daddy?
Well, I learned that you are now more than ever very protective and concerned about your loved ones, of their health and their well-being, and you reach out to them and check on them quite frequently, just to make sure they are taking care of themselves so that they can have a long life. So I do notice that about you. That you have, you're very compassionate anyway, but it just made you more compassionate with everything in life.
Is there anything about how I grieved my dad that you feel like was unhealthy or how I've been trying to heal that you thought that someone could out here could potentially learn from? Because you saw it from a very intimate space, right? You're my mama.
Yes.
So you saw it up close and personal. But is there anything that you could say that potentially was unhealthy that you wish I would have done differently, or that you recognize about me?
Yeah.
That could have been, I could have handled a little differently.
Well, there's a lot of things that we all have grieved and could have did a little differently. But with your case, yes, I just feel that, being able to accept what has happened and that it's no one's fault is the biggest thing. We like to question why. And God asks us not to ask questions why. That we must celebrate death and cry for newborns that come into the world. And that's something that is very hard for anybody to do. Because, being with a person and seeing them one day and then the next time you see them, they are laying in a casket and no more life is there. So that I don't think is very, I can't say that you handle that different or wrong, because that's life. That's something that we all go through. But again, we have to lean on who we know that created us and trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust the process. Because as sure as we are born, we all have to pay that price.
Yeah.
So we have to be very strong for each other and become closer with the Lord and pray that one day we will see them again.
Yeah. Yeah. I 100% agree. I feel like I didn't want to let go.
Yeah. That's something that we all experience. I experienced that with mine.
Yeah, I didn't want to let go.
No.
Even today, like driving to church and crying my eyes out the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
And that hit me after I got in the truck. After that,
it was very. Yeah, I'm like.
I said, "Oh God,
this is crazy."
Yeah.
And you went right to his truck this morning, and that's why I didn't want to drive it.
Think about it.
And that's why I didn't want to drive it.
I know. I thought about it after we got on the road. I was like, "Oh God, I didn't even think about it." Yeah. I mean, but God do all things for all purpose. Now He led me to the truck. That was His way of trying to get you to help you get through what you had to go through today. Because every day is a healing process.
Yeah.
And that was one of the healing process. God wants you to accept that, yes, this is your dad's truck. And yes, this is the day that he passed. So we have to learn how to, we don't understand why we do the things we do. We don't understand why we say the things we say. But God knows all about it. Mm-hmm. He moves us in the way He wants us to go. And that's how I always feel about things. Nothing is a mistake. Yeah. If it happened for a reason. Mm-hmm. We may not see why or understand why it happened or know why it happened, but God knows all about it. Yeah. And at the end, we will see. As time and time go by, we will understand it better. Why?
Yeah, that's good. Let me get on my daddy for a second, because, baby, listen, I'm tired of crying. I've been crying all day. Yeah. For me and you, is there anything that you can think of that we had to heal through together to make our relationship stronger? I can think of one, but I just want to know if you can think of anything.
I think, like I said earlier, I think that we learned to be more forgiving and understanding of one another. I do.
I think if I can think of a situation or a time that we had to heal through something, I think it would be, after grandma died.
Yeah.
And I was so hurt.
Mm.
I was so
and I
hurt.
had to be very strong for.
Yeah, I was hurt, but I was hurt more from her dying. And then I think because you weren't there.
Yes. Yes.
And we had to heal through that.
We had to heal through that.
That was tough.
It was. It was, because I thought about, well, if I didn't went to work, maybe I could have intervened. Maybe I could have stopped it. By the way, my mother passed away from like a grand seizure, and then she went into a massive heart attack in her sleep. And I spoke to her prior to that time, and she was fine, appeared to be fine. She talked to me. I had a vision, a dream, and of her dying, just like she died. But that was before she passed, and I cried my eyes out on that phone with her. And it was like she knew, because she didn't say anything. She let me just cry it out. And when I got to the point where I was crying so much and I didn't want to get off the phone with her, because I didn't want what I dreamed, the vision that I had of her, to come true. So I tried to hold her on the phone, and she told me, she said, God is trying to tell you something. You need to take heed to what he is trying to tell you. Now, I didn't think about that at the time when I found out that she passed after that. But as time went on, and all I could do is sit and think and take care of my little ones, it hit me that she was telling me in so many sense then, that God is trying to tell me that she's leaving, and I need to take heed to what he's trying to tell me. But it's just things like that kind of make me think, everything happens for a reason and for a purpose. God don't put no more on us than we can bear, and I believe that. Mm-hmm. And I know that he will carry all of us through our pain and our heartaches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you did a really good job of working through that with the limited resources that you had. Our family didn't believe in therapy for the longest time.
No.
Like, you went to therapy, you was going to the crazy doctor. Right.
That is true.
That's right. Like, you was going to the crazy doctor. And so you could not go and get help. The help that my family, God bless them, by the way. I'm not talking bad about my family. It's just the truth.
Yes, it is.
The only doctor or the only person you could talk to was Jesus.
Yes.
Through prayer.
That's it.
And that's so unhealthy.
That's true.
It's so unhealthy. And so there were a lot of wounds that we had
that never was healed
because we couldn't go get the proper triage or process to help us heal.
It was a scab that keep popping off, and then the wound is right there.
It's
fresh
still right
again.
there. It never goes away.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I think, that's something that as I moved off and went to college and then moved on my own, and things started transpiring in my life, and I realized, like, I don't know how to deal with this hurt. I don't know how to deal with this thing. Can somebody please help me? Help me understand? Because I really don't know what to do with it.
That's right.
That's when I understood that healing, you can pray too. But God put them people here for a reason. He did. Right? He put them people here for a reason. So I think there are things, that you might have done to me or I might have done to you or said to you that we've had to heal through, that we really didn't understand the gravity or the weight of what we were doing because we both were operating from an unhealed place. And that's all parents and children, right?
That's true.
That's all parents
That's
and
all
children.
parents and children. And, I was raised by old school parent.
Yeah.
My mom and my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. They didn't believe in any type of healing on the outside of going to the doctor for a sickness. Your mind, your brain needs to heal. Your heart needs to heal. So there's doctors out there for that.
Yeah.
That you can talk to. And when you went and had started seeing your doctor, your therapist, I started thinking about it. And that's when I went and started doing the same thing. And believe it or not, it helps. Because they are there to hear everything that you have that you feel you can't talk to no one else about but God. They'll listen to that. And then they give you feedback on it. And that's a plus. That was a plus in my life. That changed my life. I think that what made our relationship grow.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think just being honest, if my mama would have never went to therapy, I don't think our relationship would have ever grown.
No,
we were stagnant.
So. Yeah.
We were stagnant. My mama, like we were talking about, she came home after my grandma died, and my grandma raised me from a little girl. And, my mama was there, but then she wasn't.
Yeah.
And I had abandonment issues. I had trust issues, right?
Yes.
And there were just things that I just didn't know how to communicate to you. And when I did, from a healed part of me, you couldn't receive it because you hadn't caught up to where I was.
Right. That's true.
And so therapy for both of us kind of helped us mellow out our relationship and bring us closer.
Oh, yes. I agree with that.
Yeah.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. I think therapy we were already really close, but therapy made you my best friend, Mama.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Made you
agree.
my best friend.
And I try to encourage people that comes across my path that I work with, that I am in the school with. And I try to explain to them when I see them having a rough patch that they cannot get past. It's like a wound that it only gets a scab just enough to anything to tear it off, and it's gone and it's back open again. And so I try to explain to them my story and my testimony. And, and I do reach out to some, and some do take me on what I'm explaining to them, and they will go get help. But then there's others that's still struggling because they still living off of the thought of, the negative part about what they think it is. Mental health is crazy. That's not true. That's not true at all. But,
yeah, that's good. Yeah, is there anything, we talked about quite a bit, we talked about your healing process with losing the people that are close to you. We talked about losing my daddy. We briefly talked about our relationship. Is there anything right now that you care to share that you're still working through, trying to heal from? And if you are working through something to try to heal from it, what are you doing to do that?
Well, I'm more into church now and the word, and I try to base just my living, my daily living off of that. Of course, I work a lot still, which that's something I'll eventually be slacking up on in 2026.
She's retiring, y'all. Praise him.
Yes.
Thank the Lord. And I'm sure everybody at that sheriff department clapping right now too.
quite sure they
ready
are.
for her to go.
I'm quite sure they are.
They ready. They are ready. They be sick of
Oh
you.
yes. Oh yes.
I'm
And
sorry.
so I'm just right now just living my life, just enjoying life. That's something that I tell people. Enjoy life. Enjoy life like never before. Go places, do things. Whether you do it on your own or do it with someone or do it with family. Just go and live your life.
Yeah.
Because we only got one life. And once that life is gone, you don't want to be leaving this world with regrets that you didn't do this or you didn't do that because you worked so much or you got something else going on and you just can't make time for yourself. I learned to, going through therapy, I learned to have self-love for myself and do things on my own without anyone going with me. I planned a trip for myself, just me, to go. And I did well with that. And I suggest that for anybody who's out here and who's struggling with the life itself, to just relax and enjoy life, because we only live one time. And once we leave this world, we don't get those chances again.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes.
Anything else, Mama, that you want to share? I appreciate you coming on and having this conversation with me.
Anytime.
I think, we've come a long way. And I just want to say that I'm proud of how far you've come. Your life hasn't been a crystal stair.
No.
And I've seen it from a very, very up close and personal view.
Yes.
You had me young, but,
yes.
Fortunately, I had a grandmother that prayed and transported wisdom through prayers.
Yes. Yes, she did.
And I've been able to see your evolution from the little girl that was desperately wanting her mama to be there,
yes,
to now having my mama there,
yes,
and seeing the work that you're putting in. So keep up your self-love.
Oh, yes.
It looks really good on you.
Thank you.
It looks really good on you. And, keep being true to yourself and what you want.
Yes.
I know there are things that you are still healing from that are unspeakable, and things that you've already talked about. But it's not a linear process. And the days that you have where you're in the mood where you want to share, do that, because you never know who it's going to touch.
Yes.
And so I'm just grateful that you my mama.
Thank you. And our story, your story and mine, are a testimony for someone else.
Yeah.
Because it can help another person who's going through it and think they're the only ones that's going through what they're going through.
Absolutely.
So our story is a testimony.
Yeah.
And we look forward to, people to reach out and hopefully take what we say and do something for themselves and help themselves and get themselves back on track.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Mama.
Thank you.
Y'all give it up for my mama. Listen. Thank you.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. Hey, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. Again, this is my mother, Melissa. Y'all give it up for my mama. Listen. I'm appreciative that you're here.
Yes.
And
glad to be here.
You scratched my Mustang, though. I ain't got over that yet. I got to heal from that. She messed up my car.
Oh my
Anyhow, thank y'all for joining. This is your host, S.T.I.L.L Scott. This is Still Becoming Podcast. If you haven't, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, whatever have you. We appreciate you for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Yes.